We got here with the tire pressure dropping. It started at 28, 26, 22, 14. By the time we pulled into the parking garage, it was 10. There's no doubt in my mind it'll be completely flat by the time we get home. That was my 5-second moment. Everything else was leading up to that moment. Rushing to the airport, the tire going flat. But all of that was to get us to the airport, to get us on the plane, for the plane to take off, so I could see that one moment. That was the highlight of my entire day. We've arrived in Boston. They're Ubering. All right, we had a little rough start. We were here for, what, 2 hours?
We got to Boston at 11:31 and it's 1:44.
Okay, we were here for a little over 2 hours, and we made the mistake of using a cheap rental car company, and it didn't work out. So we had to Uber to a better one, and they were out of cars, so they upgraded us to a BMW SUV. Good times. You know what I'm doing?
Trying to find the food.
We don't know how to turn our car off. We turned it off. We're pretty sure the radio's still playing. Before we travel back home, I wanted to take a minute to sit by the ocean, because the whole time we've been in Boston, we've been driving around, walking around, but we haven't actually sat at the beach or by the ocean. So I figured this would be a good time for a little downtime and just capture some of the ambience, the noise, the rising sun, just how calm and peaceful it is. I'm reading a book right now called Storyworthy, and it's all about how to write the perfect story. And the author says that every story boils down to the most important 5 seconds, and everything else is just a lead up to that moment, to that 5 seconds. And there's an example in the book about Jurassic Park, and it says the movie isn't actually about dinosaurs. It's about the main character is in a relationship and he doesn't want kids. And while being chased by the dinosaurs, he realizes that he actually does like kids, and he builds a bond with 2 kids. So by the end of the movie, you can see that he would make a good father, and he's capable of it, and you presume they live happily ever after. And that's what the story's actually about. The dinosaurs could be replaced with sharks or anything else, and the story is pretty fundamentally the same. It's a character's growth. The first day of our trip, we set out, and Kaitlyn hasn't been very many places, so she was excited about everything. We were going through airport security, we were getting on the airplane, we're traveling to another state we haven't been to before. Everything was exciting and new, and like anybody, everybody takes pictures or videos with their phone to memorialize the events. There was a moment where we were boarding the airplane, and Kaitlyn sat down by the window, and she pulls out her phone and starts recording the plane taking off. Seeing her excitement or enthusiasm, I thought was cute. So I took out my phone and recorded her recording the environment. Well, she turned and caught me, and she asked me, "Why are you recording me?" And I had my assumptions on why she was doing it. And I said, well, because I think it's cute that you're recording, you know, the plane taking off. And it was a funny moment, but it was also a growing moment for me, because she started laughing, and I thought we were laughing about the same thing, but we weren't. She basically told me, I don't care about the airplane. I don't care that we're taking off. This isn't something I would normally video. She said, I'm doing this for you, to help your videos. So the ironic thing between it all was, I was assuming it was one thing, and that it was about her, right? She was enjoying the moment, capturing the moment for herself. But in reality, she was doing something selfless that was for me. And I completely misread the situation. It made me appreciate that moment and her that much more, in that she's going out of her way to do these things for me without even me asking. And it means a lot. And I think for me on that day, that was my 5-second moment. Everything else was leading up to that moment. Rushing to the airport, the tire going flat. I still don't know what I'm going to do about the tire when I get home. But all of that was to get us to the airport, to get us on the plane, for the plane to take off, so I could see that one moment where Kaitlyn was doing something selfless for me. And that meant the most to me that day. That was the highlight of my entire day. It was a great day overall, and it ended perfectly. I couldn't ask for better, but that moment sticks out to me. And if I had to pick a moment, a 5-second period in that time, that would be it for me.